3 billion years ago, before life ever stirred, the earth was molten stone and endless silence. Yet deep within that ancient rock, something impossible was found. This is the story of the Klerksdorp Spheres. Chapter 1. The Discovery. Deep beneath the dry hills of South Africa, miners once carved through billion-year-old rock called pyrophyllite, also known as wonderstone. In 1984, one of them struck something strange. Not gold, not quartz. A small, perfectly round metallic sphere glinted under the lamplight. It looked out of place. Strange. At first, no one cared. Yet this time, something was different. When more appeared, hundreds at the same depth, all sealed in ancient Precambrian layers over 3 billion years old, the miners' curiosity deepened. Curiosity became disbelief. The spheres were small, 2 to 4 centimeters across, but unnervingly uniform, perfectly balanced. Etched around their middles were 3 grooves. They ran parallel, carved with mathematical precision. To the miners, they looked manufactured, too perfect to be a fluke. To scientists, they looked impossible. Analysis revealed the spheres were composed of hematite and pyrite, metallic minerals that typically occur together in nature, but rarely in such precise, symmetrical shapes. The uniformity and structure of the spheres sparked question about whether purely natural processes could account for their formation. The grooves encircling each sphere did not resemble the irregular cracks or pressure lines commonly produced by geological processes. Clean, consistent. The grooves extended unbroken around the spheres, so precise they suggested shaping by advanced repetitive action, not random natural forces. Word spread fast through the mining community of Ottosdal. Soon, the local museum filled with curious visitors, wanting to see the out-of-place artifacts for themselves. The staff could offer only the official explanation. They were natural concretions. But under glass, the perfection of those spheres told a different story. How could an object so precise form inside stone that predates all multicellular life? No one had an answer. Still, each new discovery unearthed the same uncomfortable truth. Something, or maybe someone, was here long before us. Chapter 2. The Mystery. In a remote laboratory, a team of scientists gathered around an enigmatic object placed under a microscope. There were no random nodules or lumps of ore. Instead, something deliberate seemed to be at work. Each sphere was so precisely balanced that some rolled flawlessly on glass, almost as if they had been engineered. Even more striking were the grooves, 3 flawless lines circling the equator. These grooves were not made by hand. Instead, they were pressed or cut with a level of consistency that seemed impossible. No jagged edges, no deformation. Most remarkably, the same spacing always appeared. This is a pattern that nature rarely repeats. Inside a solid metal core sat beneath a dark shell, much like a planet with an iron heart. Furthermore, their density exceeded steel. Their surfaces were magnetically responsive. For example, a compass near a sphere might drift. This is evidence of residual magnetism in an object that is supposedly billions of years old. Even stranger, several were perfectly balanced on all axes, showing a precision more typical of aerospace bearings than of geology. But it was precisely this combination of features that made them impossible. 3 billion years ago, The planet was dominated by volcanoes and shallow seas. No oxygen atmosphere, no life forms are complex enough to craft anything. Yet inside that ancient stone were spheres that appeared manufactured, contradicting everything known before. Critics argued they were natural concretions, rock formations formed when minerals precipitate from water and accumulate around the core over long periods. But none could explain the precision of the grooves or why identical spheres appeared miles apart, sealed in the same age of rock. Concretions form in rough, irregular shapes and never with perfect symmetry. It was as if someone had designed them, left them embedded on purpose, and was waiting for them to be found. Proof, perhaps, not of technology itself, but of intent. And that single question began to haunt those who studied them. If these spheres aren't natural, then who made them? Could it be a relic from an ancient civilization we have yet to discover? Or perhaps evidence of extraterrestrial visitors? What are the possibilities that lie beyond our current understanding? Chapter 3: The Theories and the Cover-Up. As the specimens drew attention, science divided. Some dismissed the story outright. The other couldn't look away, captivated by the unusual findings. The official stance was simple. These were natural concretion. Minerals form over millions of years in soft ground, shaped by pressure and chemical changes. It seemed a tidy answer, at least on the surface. However, problems arose when geologists tried to replicate those perfect grooves in the lab. Nothing came close. No known process makes evenly spaced grooves around a metal center. Nature usually creates random shapes, not perfect patterns. Yet, alternative voices soon emerged. A few researchers and many dreamers suggested that something ancient might be involved, that the spheres might be remnants of a pre-human civilization, potentially of intelligent beings, one erased long before the fossil record began. Evidence, perhaps, of intelligence rising and falling on Earth more than once. Others entertained theories of extraterrestrial origin, proposing the spheres came from outside Earth. Some called them alien probes or relics from Earth's formation. Micro-devices turned to stone over the course of billions of years. It seemed impossible, yet the magnetic signals suggested design rather than random chance. Meanwhile, as public curiosity grew, so did the silence. The spheres vanished from display shelves. Museums stopped answering questions. Some specimens were lost in cataloging. Official statements shifted from anomaly to irrelevance. But the mystery never faded. There was precision where it did not belong, and the signs of intelligence where none should have existed. Are they artifacts of an ancient race, relics from another world, or proof that history as we know it is far older than we dare to believe? Perhaps the truth still waits beneath those South African hills, waiting for the next miner's pick to expose it.